In the early 1900s, she faced persecution for being black, for being a woman, and if that's not enough already, for being a member of the German Lutheran Church. Concordia Publishing House published her autobiography, Light in the Dark Belt, and today she is remembered as the mother of black Lutheranism. In fact, it was her efforts that brought 30 Lutheran schools to the state of Alabama. In honor of the legacy of Rosa Young, Concordia Publishing House brings you an update to her story. If you don't know the story of Rosa Young, researcher Laura Mars says you should.
She overcame such enormous obstacles. I think anybody today would have given up long before she did. She was really persistent.
As a former Lutheran school teacher, Mars can relate to Rosa's story, a perfect example of how God worked through a humble teacher with no money, no power, and in no position to bring God's word to his people.
It captures my heart because she and I guess, are excited about some of the same things.
Long before she ever heard of the Lutheran Church, Rosa's dream was to bring a Christian education to black children in the segregated South. She raised funds herself to build her own school in Rosebud, Alabama. These are white Southern folks, she writes. They are the first ones I ever approached for help when I started my school at Rosebud. The father gave me the first $50. This was the old hall where cattle went for shelter. Children learned to read on dirt floors, and it would someday be the first Lutheran church in Alabama. In fact, on her own handwritten note, Rosa would call this place our mother church.
It was very successful. She went from 50 to 200 students in the first 2 years. However, then the boll weevil came and decimated the cotton crops, and nobody had any money, white or black.
So once again, Rosa searched for funding, and she found it with the Lutherans. She wrote to Booker T. Washington, and believe it or not, he wrote back.
He said they were doing more for the colored race than any other denomination that he knew of. And so he gave her a contact name there. It was Reverend C.F. Drews. And then he said, and here's another whole list of people that you can write. So if you don't get help from the Lutherans, write to them. Well, she ended up writing to Drews and everybody else on that list. Drews was the only one who said, I'm going to send someone.
Rosa contacted the LCMS, and the rest is history. Her determination to save one school helped spread the gospel statewide, and in 1922 her efforts helped establish the only historically black Lutheran college in the nation. These are some of its earliest students. So thanks to Rosa Young, what was once a one-building college in this picture is now a 59-acre campus, with even a presence on Selma's main road.
If you understand that for a black institution to have a prominent position along the main street in a southern town is, in the 1950s, it wouldn't have been possible.
Concordia College in Selma is now part of the LCMS's larger Concordia University system, and these honor students are its current ambassadors, representing more than 600 students in attendance.
Many of them are Lutherans, and that they're going to take the story throughout the world. They're going to share Christ wherever they go.
So as these students follow in the footsteps of their school's founder, Rosa Young, they find that it's not always an easy legacy to live up to, but they always remember a popular phrase said throughout the South, that God makes a way out of no way. In March, Concordia Publishing House plans to release a brand new biography on the story of Rosa Young. It's written for 5th graders, so stay tuned to our CPH website for more details.